Um, okay. Again, thank you everyone for joining. I think it's 4:02, and I will kick it off. I think more participants will flow in the over the next 5 or 6 minutes, but I can begin with the introduction. Um,
Sure.
yeah. So again, thank you everyone, and this is like the 24th edition of the Uday Knowledge Session. A lot of you have been part of our sessions, which we started mid last year, and this is the 24th session where we invited experts from the fintech space to talk to our students and they'll conduct a session for our students on a particular topic. Mumbai Fintech Hub is the fintech vertical of the government of Maharashtra, and they focus on the growth of the fintech sector. And their key focus is on building fintech talent through education. Uday is their flagship program of the Mumbai Fintech Hub, and it focuses on students like you who are interested in pursuing careers in fintech. And we try to equip you with relevant knowledge and information that you need for such a career. Uday Knowledge Session is specifically focused on providing you with fintech knowledge related to different fintech sectors and concepts. And we invite industry experts to provide their perspectives. We also gather questions from students who have registered, and we do have time in the end, towards the end of the session, to address those questions with the expert. Um, for today, we have Mr. Prithviraj, who's joining us. He's a founder and co-founder. Uh, 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 I'm sorry, my screen is just going away. Uh, of PayZello, and just give me a second. I'm so sorry. He's a CEO and founder at PayZello, Mr. Prithviraj Rath. And prior to PayZello, which is India's millennial-focused neo-banking platform, Mr. Prithviraj also was a co-founder of Daddy's Wallet, a financial product aimed to enable EMI-based loans. He's an experienced co-founder with a demonstrated history of working on financial services and skilled in financial risk, business management, product innovation, and entrepreneurship. Welcome, Prithviraj. We're really excited to have you conduct today's session. As with the previous session, this is going to be an interactive session, and Prithviraj will cover some of the core concepts related to learning the art of personal finance management with neobanks. We're very excited. I think the students are going to really enjoy listening and hearing about personal finance management. We have got questions, but we will, after the session, Prithviraj will open it up, there is an option for you to ask your questions in the chat. Please feel free to use that, and to put there's a Q&A session. If you go under meeting details, um, there's a Q&A session, and you can put in your questions there, and we'll make sure we'll ask them to Prithviraj one by one. Um,
Yep.
if any other uh, question, without much ado, I would like to hand it over to Prithviraj, um, and you can take over and present your screen. Everyone, we would request everyone to keep their selves on mute, so we can have a seamless session.
Sure. Okay, thank you, Mansi. It was really honor to be part of this such nice initiative which is getting conducted by the government of Maharashtra. And the way we're trying to build this millennial focus bank, which are mostly the students. And when happily Sanjana contacted me, I thought it will be a great pleasure for me to speak, on this kind of platform. Sanjana, can you bit help me on sharing my the deck I had shared with you earlier? Hello.
Prithviraj, I think you just have to click on. Okay,
Yep.
she's sharing it. Okay.
Yeah. So, I'll break this precious, let's say, 30 to 41st minutes of time into three parts. The first thing I will be focusing on, how important it is the design, the technology, and then we'll say combining two of them, creating a product which has been not done by anyone, or maybe we can say with time how the evolve of technology, how best far we can go. So I'll start with a quick journey of my mind. So when back in 2017, when I was in my fourth year, to open a bank account, first thing I have to go to a public sector bank. I can't go to a private sector bank and maintain a 10 to 15,000 balance over there. None of these private sector banks or public sector bank, they will give me a credit card. The third challenge over here was, the way the banks are treating the customers who are mostly 18 to let's say 26, 28, who is someone a students or who is early to job or doing their masters. The bank don't think okay, these people are revenue generating customers for me, so I have to treat them a premium kind of service. So the way we get the treatment from the bank, we get a debit card. I don't know, most of you will agree with me or not the same. The bank gives us a debit card and they do think their job is done. Unlike the the millennial, not unlike the HNI people who are high net individual people, they will get their dedicated relationship manager, or you say personal wealth manager kind of the thing. But getting those kind of services in our generation, it was really tough. So I thought, okay, so what's the challenge behind it? If we'll go to a deep down, research on that, the challenges behind those, the first thing was the design. So there are two rules if you design every product. So if you will see back in 1950, to move 1 kilogram of Mars to the orbit, it must have been cost you like $1 billion. But look like SpaceX right now, they started the 3D printing, they started the computerized design, and they reduced the cost by 95%, and mostly they will drop down to 99% as well. Then if you see Apple, it was a time when there was a Microsoft, sorry, your Nokia type banana phones. But Steve Jobs didn't want to do that. He wanted sleek, slim, and design wealthy phones. Nowadays, if you'll see most of these phones, they look like an Apple iPhone, right? So when you see why the banks are not still same, or why the banks are the design has not been changed. So the banks are following a rule which is called the design by iteration. So whatever the existing product they had, they are just trying to change it with the new kind of technology, but the development from the scratch, that's not happening. You simply say, when there was a time it was a checkbook it was existing, or a passbook which will it will show me the statement of my funds. When the technology came, people started carrying those iPhones or maybe smartphones, they started to put it online. Okay, I'll show you your balance statement in the form of a mobile app. I was selling my investment products, my insurance through my existing agent. Right now I'll sell it to you, through the mobile phone itself. So it's not like Jeff Bezos who is trying to create a marketplace to sell multiple things, right? So you have to start the design kind of approach to start the banking. And if you see, the banks have a vast, the problem is that they're targeting a very mass market. So the design aspect, a bank, a millennial will look for, maybe he's the not the same person who is looking both 35 or 40. So we can go to the next slide. Yeah, so mostly PayZello is focusing towards the 300 million millennial people. So if you'll see, the data says every year 35 million students only get onboarded into the UG courses. So if you'll see UG plus PG courses, the volume kind of what we are looking for, and we're focusing to build a student-friendly banks for them. It's approximately more than 150 million. That's the target kind of volume we're looking for. We can go to the next slide, Sanjana. Yes. So what is the problem statement what you're trying to solve? So if you'll say, most of this bank, where if this, let's say they have to go to the branch and they have to do the paper documentation to open a bank account. Maybe some of, you can say ki maybe couple of the banks, they came up with the digital onboarding. But only my one question is, what can be the best possible way of KYC? It's the same person, and the person is going to the bank and signing 5 to 10 paper documentations, then the account opening process. Again, it takes 2 to 3 days. So right now, why can't be, the thing is the video KYC process, even the video KYC process, again from the start, the banks are starting to adopt that. But the challenge over here is the technology. The efficiency is not that far beyond on in terms of the facial authentication that has been they are using or from the third party. So that's again the major challenge. And if you want to avail a loan or any kind of banks, related services, you have to go to a branch and you have to do the paper documentation kind of stuff. If you're a millennial, you don't have a CIBIL score, only 2% of the generation between 18 to 26 are covered by CIBIL. So until unless you are a CIBIL score or you don't have a CIBIL data, the bank is not gonna give you any credit line. So in PayZello, what we're trying to build, you just simply download the app. Within 2 minutes process, you can open a banking account with us through our channel partner bank, which we have partnered, and we build this service together itself, partnering with Visa and NPCI as well. Then it's entirely branchless and paperless. Entire your bank will be in your palm of your hand. So the kind of vision we are trying to take forward, it's not only was the bank are trying to focus, it's a physical kind of service. Some kind of its physical paperwork still exists, and remaining they're trying it to be get digital. But our focus is, so if someone can argue with me, I'll say ki, why customer need to visit a bank account and why they need a debit card. If I want to withdraw the money from the ATM, I can do it through AMT technology. I want to do the POS transactions, I can do through NFC, I can do through the QR codes. For online transaction, I have a virtual card, right? Why I need a physical card to carry in my wallet? Why it can't be entirely digital? My bank is in the palm of my hand, and all the transaction I want to do, whether in terms of the debit, credit, or whatever it is, it can be credit line in the app, it can be a debit line in your card itself. You do online POS, e-com transaction, without the card, it can happen also. And then when it comes to the difficulty in spend management, so if you'll see, most of the banks, the behavior they used to do, at the month end, they will tell you where the money went. Let's say they say, this month we spent 5,000 in food, 3,000 in travel, or 2,000 in grocery likewise. But the problem was that, the usual behavior is normally in the first start of the month when we got our salary or pocket money, we used to plan our our spending behavior. Someone can, okay, this is my hostel budget, this is my food rent, this is my travel budget. First 2 to 5th or 7th or 8th of the day, we need to disburse those funds. But in the normal banking scenario, you can't allot those funds digitally. The way I want to explain it, let's say I got a salary of 30,000 or a pocket money of 15,000. I will decide, okay, this is my 3,000, my hostel fund budget. This is 2,000, my food budget. This is 1,000 for this month, my online shopping budget. So next time I'm going to a restaurant ordering food online, the money will be deducted from my food account only. Doing a online transactions, maybe a e-commerce transaction, it will be deducted from my e-commerce account only. Then I'm going to my canteens, whether swiping my card or doing a QR transaction or NFC enabled payment, it will be deducted from my hostel fund only. In that also, the algorithm will suggest you the way you are spending prior to how many days you will fall short of money, and what is the safe to spend line for you on a daily wise as well. And when it comes to the modular banking and cognitive banking, so modular banking defines the banks comes with the offers like a mass appeal. So in the mass appeal, in the sense, they will show 10%, 15% off on various offers, or same kind of offering, the investment or sorry, financial investment or insurance product to most of the people. But the behavior is varies from every customer to customer. It's need to be more personalized. Simple thing, I'm living in a city, a Koramangala, which is in Bangalore. If the bank is giving me an offer which is in JP Nagar, I will not go there spending 2 to 300 rupees on the cab and to get those 200 or 150 rupees discount. I will not do that. And when it say you comes, someone have a spending potential of 50,000, the cross-selling factors from them might be totally different if I'm earning 15 to 70,000. If a person earning 40,000, he can maybe do a SIP of 500. I'm a student. I want to take care, I have education loan in my college timing. I'm not sure whether what happened will post my graduation or any job flexibility, whether will happen or not. I'll start some savings in terms of ASIP. It might be 100 rupees, it might be starting with 50 rupees. That kind of personalized offering on the use of AI that has not been done by the bank. So that's our differentiating modular banking. They have a stealth approach, a cross pillar approach, we can see, which it gets bombarded to most of the users. But in our case, we try to use the AI services to make it more personalized banking. So cross selling, we more focus on building the personalized offering for the customers, and manual banking. So what I'm saying, manual banking, in the sense, in a small example, in PayZello, we developed a bot. Initially, we tried to build Elo. Now we are working on the voice recognition technology as well. So you simply say, if you face right now any problem, you call to the customer care. They'll say your call is important to us, and maybe 5 to 7 minutes in the queue, or you have to walk into a branch to solve this issue. Why can't a Siri kind of system can't be happen in my mobile phone or in my mobile app? I just need to say, hey, look, what's my balance right now? Hey, look, can you transfer 5,000 rupees to my friend X? Hey, look, I want to this month, okay, I will have 300 or 500 rupees kind of spare budget. Can you tell me what are the best funds I can invest in? And maybe down the line, 6 to 9 months, I want to take that money return out. What kind of the tentative returns I can get? So that's the conversation of banking, which is available with you 24 into 7 anytime you need, not as time like banking chairs, a branch timing, it's like 9 to 5, or post that only customer care services is happen and you have to stand in long queue to get their same automated answer. So that's the difference between building a personalized AI powered and more hyper personalized cognitive conversational banking experience. Yep, we can go to next slide. You know. So in India right now, mostly we do have 560 million millennial users, and PayZello we are targeting the people who are key 8 to 30. And for millennials, the best financial advice need to be real time based on the behavior principle, principle of big data, mobility, and gamification. So a small example, if I'm spending right now 50 rupees, right? You need to tell me right now if there was any way I could have saved 5 or 7 rupees on that, right? So and I will give you a small example on the how we build that use case. So a lot of time we used to get a lot of text SMS, but usually we don't read those text SMS. And this text SMS comes with a lot of coupon code vouchers from maybe we're using Flipkart, Zomato, Swiggy, or maybe if there is an offer on Uber or Ola. So when we are doing a transaction, you are going to make a payment. So we do evaluate your SMS data and we make sure in which kind of platform at any point of time you can save even a single penny. So if you're doing a transaction of 50 rupees at a time, and I know at that time there was a voucher was available which is 10 rupees, so the AI will automatically give a pop notification to the user, hey, if you use this coupon code, you might get 10 rupees off. So post doing the transaction, if you tell me, that doesn't make any sense for me just because I did the transactions. But if I'm spending a lot, you need to tell me on the right moment. Okay, you're spending a lot, you have to save this. That's why you created every day what is there safe to spend. Just because again when you say safe to spend, you can't make it stagnant. Just because 7 day, Monday I'm eating veg, Tuesday I'm eating non-veg, weekends I'm going outside. For every day, my spending potential for each and each day will be different. So these suggestions need to be real time. So that's what we are also building in PayZello. Yep. Next slide you can go. This slide you can skip. Yes. So basically, PayZello, what we have built, it's a single card for one card for all accounts. So spending accounts, you can keep track of all your spendings that you're doing. And this same card works like a debit and credit card, so you don't have to go to the branch asking them a credit line. We have alternative credit scoring model on which you can get a credit line on that. So at any point of time, you don't have a debit fund, you just simply tap in the app. The same card will be converted into a credit card. And the savings account, so savings we have created, the automated saving goal, just because we realize most of this time at the month end, most of these people they fall short of money. Might be I need 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees at a time, so I have to call to my friends or ask them, hey, can you borrow? Can you give me, $1,000? I will return you in the next month. maybe first week or something like that. So you wanted to change those behavior. So what happens? You can fix a goal. Maybe every 5 to 6 months you do want to change your mobile phones, but you can't ask your parents every time to give it to you. So you can create, hey, next 6 months I want to save 10,000 rupees, and the mobile I want to purchase, let's say 20,000 rupees. Let's say if I save 10,000, can you lend me another 10,000 so I can buy that phone? I will say, for sure, I will love to do that. Just because you have the credit account which is available for you. If you are saving this 10,000 in your account, based on small rules, we have the odd even rule, guilty pleasure rule, IFTTT. So do that, I'll help you. Or maybe these small deductions will help you have the extra kind of 1,000 or 1,500 bucks at the month end. At that time you don't have to ask your friends that kind of money. Then this NGM card, that's a National Common Mobility card, which we did in the partnership of with NPCI. So this card, will work like your library card, your maybe the bus pass card like this. And when I said virtual card, we want to make it true digital bank. We believe we don't, at some point of time we are going towards the society on cardless transactions. So if your virtual card do everything, why do you need a physical card for this? And we do believe one thing, banks more like needs to be the great waiters, not bad landlords. Bad landlords, every time they will come for you, this is your uh, like electricity bill pending, wi-fi bill pending, and a lot of things. The bank will ask, I will not be transparent, I will charge your credit card fee, I will charge your annual membership fee. If I withdrawn more than 5 times of money, more than ATM, then I will deduct those fees. So we believe like we need to behave like a great waiters. So the way the customer demands it, the way personalized it might be, the food or the service or the ambience, they demand it, we have to fulfill that. So that's something, the vision towards we're going in PayZello. Next slide, we can go. Oh, this is the spending account. Here you can see there are three things on the screen. You can see there is a spendometer. So it gives you whether you are spending in a yellow zone, green zone, or red zone. If you're overspending, what is the safe to spend line? How much in this account have already been left, and withdrawing without doing the ATM withdrawal. Maybe how much you have been able to save in that money. So all those leakages and everything will be given to you. And personal finance money, you have to make the behavioral change in yourself to to improve your financial life. But major challenging fact was most of these people, maybe in our age 18 to 20, there are strict features, we have the rules that you have to follow, which will get impacted with the slow less of time. Maybe down the line 90 to 120 days, you can see that. Yeah. Next slide, you can see. This is your credit account. At any point of time, you need a credit line, you just can avail it from us. You don't have to, as I said, go to the branch and do the paperwork and keep begging them, I need a credit line for that. So you don't need a single card, you can use as a debit and credit card. Next slide, you can. Yes, this is a savings account. So this card comes up with, you can, as you see, some of them they have created to buy bags, some of them to buy their bike or mobile phone. They can create those goals, and let's say you fix your own rules. Key one rule is odd even rule. Every time I do a transaction of odd amount, it will round up to the nearest even number, and remaining will come to my saving goal. There are tons of rules. Key guilty pleasure rule. If I'm ordering food more than 5 times week online, then that might be my guilty. Okay, you deduct something. If maybe I'm swiping my card in a liquor shop more than 3 times a week, that's my guilty. You deduct something. Rainy day, if it rains, that's the kind of rule. You deduct something and put it into my saving goal. So not only will help, will save the money for you based on those rules automatically. On top of that, you will be able to get 7.25%, which is highest in the market. That any of the banks mostly will cover it. So there is one rule also we do follow: don't save what's left after spending, spend what's left after saving. Yeah. Next slide, you can go. Yeah, this is the advanced security feature what we have built. So you can block your cards if you want to block ATM, POS, e-com limits. If you want to block any merchants like Amazon, LinkedIn, Amazon Prime, or it might be hosted. If any merchant you want to block, you can block that. You can switch on, you can switch off your card at any point of time. So at any moment, if you lost your card, you don't have to walk into a branch, call to the customer care. So you can just simply in a tap of, single tap, you can lock your card. And if you want to restrict your transactions, let's say on a geographical location wise. So I know I'm sitting right now in Bangalore. So my most of the POS transactions or ATM transactions will not happen beside Bangalore, right? To prevent those fraudulent activities also. So you can restrict your POS or ATM location, the transaction limit geographical area restricted to Bangalore or any of the city you are living in. So that's the kind of advanced security what we had built. Now we're working on something as well with a partner, which is, so that's something is our next technology development we are doing for next technology development we are doing for next 15 to 18 months. So the card will come with a biometric, authentication or biometric control in the user's hand. So they will have, extra additional security in that as well. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. This is the ELO part what I explained it to you. The ELO is basically so the way we think. Ki everything will build for you. It will be automated. So you don't have to think about your money more than 5 minutes a day. We'll tell you how to spend the money properly. We'll tell you how to save the money automatically. We'll tell you make the best investment decisions as well, which will be entirely powered by AI without any human intervention, much of the human intervention at to minimize low to low level. So it will be most on the AI side that we have been building. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. This is the expenditure management. You can see some of the screens where a user on the time he spent 300 rupees. So there was a coupon code. If he must have been used that coupon code at that time, he must have been save 150 rupees at that time. So that's how we have to let them user know ki on a real time basis. Hey, before moving into the transaction, you do it right. And sometimes what happens, we link our card to Netflix or Hotstar. We forget it. Okay, the card is linked to somewhere else. So it automatically. So you have to approve the transaction. Post this, the deduction will happen. Then we will give you a monthly, expenditure analysis, like on every day wise, last month how much spent, this day till so far, if there any extra spending or 10 to 15% hike on that it happened, that will give you also. Then you have seen the spend IQ I said every
Prithviraj, I'm not sure. We're not able to hear you. Your voice is breaking. Is it just me or can the rest of the team? Sanjana, can you hear him?
advance,
No,
the
Mansi, his
algorithm
voice.
will suggest the user whether you're overspending or what is the safety level. Yeah. Is it better now?
Yeah, Prithviraj. It's working fine now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, it's working fine now. You can go ahead. I think there was a lag in between.
It's better now? Yeah. Okay. So if you'll see here, safe to spend. So we'll tell every day the user how much he was safe to spend. Then the Uber trip thing I said at that moment the user was there is coupon code available where he can save 150 rupees. So we help the user at that time to let them know there is a coupon available over there, so he can save, providing alternatives to them. On each transaction, if there is way or possibility they can save some money. Just because we don't want the user to make spend a lot, our core goal is make them save a lot. And they can do the categorized spend tracking over here. Previously, as I said, shopping, food, or travel, taking Ola, Uber ride, the money will be deducted from travel. Going to food court, ordering food online, that will be deducted, from the spending account. The merchant blocking, sometimes we do link our card to a couple of websites, monthly deduction. But we do forget that in those cases, in this case with PayZello card, there will be no auto deduction. Every month before the transaction happen, you have to give an approval. Post only that the transaction will go through. Otherwise, it will not get processed. Yeah, next slide you can go. Yeah, so there are, these pillars, what do we follow in PayZello? Okay, the first is the customer first, then the first Twitch account opening, within 2 minutes of process without any paperwork or branch verification, the account needs to be opened. One card for all your financial need, whether it's a debit, whether it's credit, whether it's a virtual card, whether if you're traveling abroad, just because this is an international card, so you can travel abroad anywhere, you can use this card. And then for your need, maybe at some point I'm college student, then do need the library card or bus pass cards, they can do that. Then the spend IQ to help you how to avoid the extra spending. Auto saving, AML power auto saving to help you to maybe get your dream gadget or any of the needs that you have, and you think you need some capital in future. So prior to planning of it, couple of days or a month before, you can start your auto saving plan. Then the algorithmic investment, which will be handled by ELO, letting them know what are the best decisions for you to even start a small investment of 50 to 100 rupees, making your first equity own, making your first insurance or anything. That will be entirely advised by ELO, which again comes with Robo financial advisory. Customer recommendation, what do we say, the cognitive banking, rather than bombarding a lot of offers to a mass population, build a behavioral banking where according to the behavior of each and every customers, we have to give them the hyper personalization. And on the side of card security, or keep building the fraud transaction, just because recently might have been come across a lot of cases where the people used to get fraud, get people used to face the fraud transaction of couple of thousand rupees. So in our case, we try to prevent maximum to maximum AML or fraud detection we can do. And again, also we provide an additional insurance. This is by default every of the user get in the card. So if something gets deducted or defrauded, something happens, so it will be easily taken care of. We can go to the next slide. Yeah, thank you. And when it comes, last thing I would like to say, guys, when it comes to the career opportunity, so if you'll see, if you'll go to fintech is a world in his own. You have the account thing, you have the lending thing, you have the investment, you have the insurance, and whatever we're trying to build right now is using mostly the AI. The reason behind it, we don't want to take the approach of design by iteration, which was the rule of first principle of analogy in design, rather than building something from the scratch, focusing on it, core more target markets whom we do think they need a better service than anyone else, and their design perspective, their thinking perspective, everything is totally different. Just because the way my dad manages his finances, I don't do it, I have a totally different way, right? So that's how we try to building the mostly student favorite banker who are between 18 to 30 in PayZello. And we're launching in the month of April. We have signed the partnership with Visa National Payment Corporation and with the partner bank as well. And in near future, next 12 months, we have the plan to hire 2,000 campus band ambassadors from various engineering and financial, master MBA colleges. So yeah, I'll be open to any questions if you have.
Hello, Mansi. Just give me 1 second, Prithviraj. I guess Mansi is facing some technical issues. She'll just join back.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Mansi, we can talk about the questions that we received from the students.
Yeah, sure. So, Prithviraj, thanks for that. I'll just quickly run through a few questions that we had received. I think one of the questions was how to assess the risk appetite for personal finance.
I think the risk appetite for personal finance, if you want to go through in that direction, we have to always think in a way, what is our inflow and what is our outflow, right?
Right.
And the way I think to calculate the best, you can't spend more than 30 to 40%. What is your inflow amount? The outflow need to be restricted between 30 to 40%, not beyond that, right? And on the risk appetite side, we have to mostly need to get controlled a lot of time. Not just because if you see when you created a savings thing, uh, risk appetite, how you can, just because the people they do need a loan, what we are trying to build, rather than taking something will opt for a loan, rather than building in its own savings acronym which will help me to have that money at any point of time. So there are a lot of metrics which you can say to build the risk appetite. But most of my suggestions, and through many maybe I will the Harvard authorities I have gone through, it always suggests not to go more than 30 to 40% beyond what is your inflow.
Thanks, that's helpful. Um, the other question we have is, how do the neobanks ensure their profitability and continued sustenance in the current market?
Absolutely. No, that's actually a great question. So the profitability, if you'll see, the obviously we have a risk sharing model and a revenue sharing model with the banks. So unlike banks, they do charge us, ask the customers. The way you see on the neobank side, profitability is not a very small game plan or something like that. It might take maybe 3 to 5 years for us to reach that kind of thing. And at a time what we are building, we believe data is the new oil. So the more the kind of personalized you will try to build, and then you can slowly and steadily start charging the customer. Just because obviously you have to initially create a value which is called the freemium model, then slowly from freemium to will move towards the premium model, and then there will be some charges which will be passed on to the customer. Once if they realize ki on this platform they benefited of their financial wealth, or it has something increased. But that's not something ki this in the down the line for near future. And if you will see the risk, the profitability, and this case, if I don't want to go to each and every metrics, how the diversification between the bank and us happen, is because the bank have a lot of operational cost, and being digital, that's how you save a lot of money. Just because you are truly digital, maybe you have to spend only the money on the customer acquisition and the customer retention channel. Then whatever the remaining additional revenue sources that you have, you will make that kind of money. And there is a business side of innovation that also, Mansi, I think that exists. Just because if you see a couple of new banks which are right now in the market also, so everyone they do go on a different business model kind of a thing. So for every neo bank, the business model is not same. Someone goes for कि monthly membership fee or an interchange fee, or charging the bank some कि monthly fee kind of a thing, where some people, I will not go deep into that, but our channel is with the bank, is wherever the bank is making money, they have to pass it on, right, like 50% to me. Then I will not take the operational cost, branch maintenance, a lot of tons operational field employee salary payment and everything. So that's how something, it depends on कि the your business arrangement also. Again, with the I will say this is not something in near or going towards the profitability. For sure it will take some time. And going being entire digital, you save a lot of money as well.
Right. I think it's differs from neobank and the kind of offers and customer
Yeah,
engagement models that they have.
yeah.
I think the other question, I think that one or two more only, is what are the regulatory policies that need to be put in place to ensure the growth of a neobank?
Absolutely. So the first thing, when a neobanks come into the picture, the first thing is the funds are saved with one of the first rule is the funds need will be held in one of the RBI regulated bank, right? So in that sense, the funds are pretty much secure. But if you will go towards a true neobank sense, I think we're 2 to 3 years, maybe in the near future we'll get to know the technical true neobanks of India, which is right now like exist in UK. If you see Monjo, you see N26, you see Starling Bank, you see Atom Bank. They're true digital bank. They do carry their own license. Until the time you're riding with one of the financial institutions like Visa or any partner bank, so that's how the arrangement works. The partner bank will take care all the roles and responsibility on the perspective of regulatory aspect from RBA, whether it's National Payment Corporation or Visa, where in terms of building, true design friendly, most customer approached, or a more technology empowered bank and taking a better care of customer care and retention on that, that will be handled by us. But till the time the true neo banking license, as it happens in Europe, has not been introduced in India, I don't see there is much of the regulatory control will comes to us. And that's kind of the arrangement we do play with the banks, where they do take care of the regulatory aspect, we do take care of the remaining part.
Sounds good. We got a couple questions of on the chat. It says, what features do you have for SMEs?
Right now, we don't want to go towards the SME market just because my it's my own personal thinking. I do believe there is a huge potential in the SMEs market, but still a lot of SME players are operating on daily to daily cash flow. Till the behavioral changes didn't happen to them, that kind of segment, I think it's a bit risky. This is for sure, this is my own personal opinion. And thanks to Google Pay and Phone Pay or UPI and National Payment Corporation in India, till the time they introduced the UPI, the cashless transaction acceptability or the usage has increased tremendously. So which again something needs to be done. Just because their cash handlement process, still they're operating through the NEFT or checkbook, it's need to be bit first. I think the behavioral change first, I do believe needs to come first, and then for sure this can be an opportunity. But right now India is a vast major market. So if you will see only 560 million people, people say Monjo or N26, they're the two unicorns in Europe. They do have hardly customer base of a million, 5 million or 10 million. But maybe if you'll see the kind of market size, the way I addressed, who are 18 to 26, mostly the UG PG students, if you see the population or the pool, it's like 150 million. So we are 10 times bigger than that. And obviously it will take us some time to reach a certain extent, just because what we are building, you have to make it efficient. And when you say we're using AI is not a thing which happens overnight. It takes a lot of time, to be that accurate, to give maybe reach a position where you can have the efficiency rate of 95 to 99% at a time. So yeah, there is a long way ahead. So right now we'll try to stay the consumer level. So there is no such other plans. Yes.
So I had a follow-up question. Sorry to interrupt here.
No, go
Can I
ahead.
take it, Mansi?
No worries, you can go ahead.
So Prithvi, I understand that you're targeting the personal customers, retail ticket customers here, but in the initial slides you also mentioned that you were looking to offer these features for small corporates. And in the similar segment, there's this European bank called Tide, which I think already has two offices in India and is going to launch somewhere like 3-4 months down the line. And the
Yeah.
kind of features, neo-banking features, I wouldn't call it neo-banking features, but the additional features that they offer, at least to the European clients right now, also includes stuff like accounting integrations with say a QuickBooks or a e-invoicing platform. So the situation right now in the Indian market, from what I gathered from my internships with fintech lenders, is that there's a lot of gap between capturing this cash flow data and the accounting system that almost 60 to 70% of the SMEs uses Tally, and to be very frank, a lot of them are just pirated. So getting the transaction data I think would be crucial if, let's say, you not have a very good score on the bureau data, like your CIBIL, crisis, etc. So how do you like? Do you see this as an opportunity, or is there something that you can perhaps want to do to solve it? For enabling SMEs to access credit easily, or perhaps get better banking facilities.
Yeah. So just a couple of minutes back, I completely agree with you. Also, I do the same thing. I see first the behavior changes need to be done before making them automated on the cash transaction level. So we have the plans of SME, but we have in a different way. So how you want to deal it? So our belief is, let's build a pyramid first. Let's grab the students who are in third year, fourth year, or are gonna pass out from their seventh sem or eighth sem time, till the time down the line 2 to 3 year. Some of these people who are already having PayZello card will join some of the corporates. So we must say that there are big corporates are there who have the partnership tied up already with big banks. But there is a huge opportunity as well. But a lot of small medium corporates are there who don't have a direct linking partnership with the bank. Still, someone who wants to either they do check take their salary in their personal bank account, the existing one they are holding, or the bank doesn't want to entertain those key MNCs just because they most of the bank they do have a rule need to be 150 plus employee. So we will enter into the corporate tie-up, but in a different way, where converting those recent acquired users into the salary account and their life cycle post beyond, not going towards the current accounting stuff. Hello.
Yeah, thanks. That answers that,
No,
and
no,
hope.
if you got my answer correctly, I'm just asking that. It's because we want to again continue them, the next journey of their life post their graduation till the time they will join any on corporates. But I hope you mentioned the name of Tide, right?
Right, right.
Right. Yeah. So Tide is there, Bank Open is there. But again, this is my own
Back
personal
what? Uh, Sorry to
Bank Open.
interrupt. Can you please like put that in the chat? I didn't get the
Yeah, yeah,
website.
sure, I'll do.
Great. Um, I think we also have one more question we could take over, which is what is the future for robo advisors in the Indian portfolio management space?
Absolutely, I do believe there is a a lot of potential use there. There is a lot of potential uh, use of the robo advisory. I do see just because the challenge was robo advisory building from the previous. The banks tried to come with a robo advisory model, but for their HNI users, the challenge with that with the HNI users, you don't have enough data sets with available with you to build the right kind of the use cases around the customer, building it more personalized or offering them what they need. But the true digital generation, what right now we are seeing who are 18 to 35 or 30, their morning life starts from being digital to till the night they go to sleep. So there are a lot of data which are available, which makes it even easier to build the robot advisory for you. Just because the robot advisor still we have to against a robot. So it needs to get where you're waking up, you're going for lunch, you are going for your dinner, which school you are going, which company you are working, what kind of earning do you have, how much you are spending, what is the left behind, from that left behind what is your appetite to invest, and if you got to know appetite of invest, how much time you want to wait for in that also. So there are a lot of data points, use case you have to build over here. So I do believe there is a solid use case in near future we're gonna see around those customers. So that's not only one thing. The second thing is also in the to build the robo advisor. So the use of voice and AI, that's gonna be the next game changer, which in mostly a couple of the neo banks they can bring into the ecosystem, just because the bank considering their hierarchy or the system they have is completely slightly rigid for them to build this kind of scenarios. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Prithviraj. I think most of the questions have been covered, unless there are any other questions from anybody on the call right now. Sanjana, any other questions that you think we should be picking up?
No, Mansi, I guess we've covered all the questions that we received. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Prithviraj. This is really interesting and I think something different for the students to hear about. It seems to be an area of interest for the students, and we thank you for your time today. I hope the students found this session useful. Do write to us if you have any suggestions and if you have any for more sessions that you want to see on the Uday Knowledge series. Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank you.
again, Prithviraj, for your time.
Thank you, Mansi. Thank you,
Thank
Prithvi,
you.
for taking the question.